Alright, welcome back to all my tiny tots, little ones, big kids, tweens, teens, everyone in between, CGs, flips, and adults. So, the other week I decided, or earlier this week I should say, I decided that we're going to start doing Fanfic Fridays. Woo woo! You guys get to hear more of my stories, and it'll be great, right? Are you done? Sorry, Mr.'s being loud in the background. Also, if you hear any background noise, it might be me cooking, because I'm filming this while I'm cooking. I am practicing proper safety, I swear. Also, slight warning, because in like a minute, there will be a loud beeping noise. That's the oven going off for a timer. Alright.
Maybe turn it off.
Well, obviously.
Hey, at least I'm not talking about Stranger Things.
Anyway, so let's get right into the stories while I'm here, I guess. So for the first one, okay, let's quick state this. So today we are doing chapters 56, 57, and 58. I'm not sure if I've done 59. If I haven't, I will go back and pick it up. You know, like
Steal a chip.
You already did. Yeah, if I missed one, I will go back and pick it up eventually. So, yeah, no chapters past, I think 62 will be added in until way later because I started going, I started with 60 to 62, and then it just kind of morphed into this. And I don't really want to go back and hit the ones past 62 and then go to the ones at the beginning again. Like,
Turn it off
just
in 5 seconds.
it doesn't make any sense to my brain. So, yeah. Anyways, I hope you all enjoy it. So, chapter 56 is CG Fundy with little Tommyinnit. Author's note, I will be referring to Fundy with Zir and he, him, his pronouns, and I'll be using he, him, his for Tommy. Can you leave the room, please? You're making me nervous by staring at me like that.
I'm picturing if you could be Vecna.
Who? Alright, anyways.
You shall never know.
Fundy had been walking along, minding Zir's own business, when he heard footsteps matching Zir. Now, this wouldn't have been a problem if Fundy hadn't been involved in the opposing side of the most recent war. He stopped for a moment, listening. The footsteps behind Zim stopped as well. He turned around and looked behind themselves. No one was there. He kept walking, assuming that Z was just being paranoid when he heard the footsteps again. Z slowed his pace, but didn't stop completely as Z listened for the footsteps. Sure enough, they were still there. He made a sharp turn off of the path into the nearby forest, hoping that this would throw Zir pursuer off track. It didn't. It just made the footsteps in the pursuer much more noticeable. Fundy slowed his pace again, carefully turning as Z walked in circles around the trees, catching glimpses of khaki shorts and a red and white t-shirt. That's when he realized Z knew who his pursuer was, and Z had no reason to be afraid. Tommy could never hurt him. Tommy, bud, what are you doing out here? Fundy asked exasperatedly. Nothing. Just wanted to hang out with Bubba. Tommy answers quietly, eyes focused on the ground. Fundy feels his heart pang a bit. Okay, Bubs, you can hang out with me. How about we head back to my house? Will we? Tommy exclaims excitedly. But first, age check. How old are you feeling, kiddo? Fundy requests gently. Dis many, Tommy answers, holding up 3 fingers. Fundy smiles, picking up the little and resting him on Zir's hip. So I got a little boy with me today, Fundy teases. Nuh-uh, Bubba's got a big boy with him, Tommy answers. Fundy chuckles a bit. I know, kiddo. Bubba was just teasing. Tommy crosses his arms, pouting a bit. Humph. If you don't put your pouty lip away, a bird's gonna come poop on it, Fundy says. Tommy shakes his head, not letting up. Fundy shrugs, sighing quietly. All right, but don't say I didn't warn you.
Choose the book.
They walk to his house in the middle of a desert biome. By the time he gets there, Tommy is fast asleep on Zir's shoulder. He chuckles quietly and lays the little down on the couch, throwing a blanket over him and making sure it's tucked securely around him. The air was cooling as the day went on, the hot desert sun letting up to the cool breeze. It was a few hours later when the little awoke. Fundy was working on some coding projects on his laptop, being met by small hands wrapping around Zero waist as they worked. Have a good nap, bud? Fundy asked quietly. Thank you, Bubba. Tommy answers. You're welcome, kiddo. How old are you feeling? Fundy replies. 5, Tommy answers, giggling a bit. Fundy chuckles, carefully saving Zero project and pulling the little down into his lap. Z tickles the little in his arms, being met with loud laughter, music to Zero ears. Tommy laughs hard, squirming away from his CG's grip, only to be pulled back in and tickled more. Not that he minded. He laughed and laughed, his stomach muscles starting to hurt as he finally managed to escape, running off and hiding under the dining room table. Where could Tommy be? Fundy inquired, slowly creeping into the dining room where he knew the little was hiding. Tommy giggled quietly, immediately giving away his hiding spot. Fundy played along, pretending that Z didn't know where the little was. He's not behind the counter, Fundy says to himself as he continues searching. And not here either. Fundy shuts the cupboard, slowly creeping towards the table. I wonder, could he be... Fundy starts, adding in suspense, pulling back the tablecloth. Under here? Tommy shrieks with laughter as he quickly crawls out from under the table and runs up the stairs. Fundy chases after him after a moment, letting the little get a head start. The game continues into the late afternoon, tiring both of them out. Fundy calls a truce as he coaxes the little into drinking water and eating some fruit for a snack before they go back to playing, running all over the house. Tommy not wanting to give up just yet. It's nearly supper time by the time Fundy finally catches the little and they curl up on the couch watching the TV. Are you kidding me?
Ice.
That's bad for your teeth. No, for real though. Alright, chapter 57. CG, Technoblade, and Little Ghostbur. I'll be using she, her, hers, and he, him, his for Ghostbur, while I use he, him, his for Technoblade. Friend, the blue sheep bowed quietly as he laid before the roaring fire. It was as if he could feel the shift in the atmosphere. Something, or rather someone, was coming. Techno looked up at the sheep's paw, head cocked to the side as he listened. Hearing nothing, he turned back to his book. It was nearly 20 minutes later when a cool breeze slipped by him in his living room. He shouldn't have been able to feel the cool breeze as the fire was still burning bright, a beautiful red-orange, nearly blue. Techno stood up, walking throughout the house, trying to figure out where the breeze was coming from when he saw her. Ghostbur lay on the floor in the living room doorway, his skin a gray-blue shade. Techno felt a cry catch in his throat as he knelt down, carefully pulling the little into his arms. His sibling had returned home, even in limbo. Wilbur? He inquired quietly. Ghostbur slowly opened her eyes, blinking them slowly as he tried to get used to the bright light of the room. Techno cradled the little close, almost as though they were fragile and could break at any moment. Bubba? Ghostbur requested lightly. Yeah, it's me, kiddo. It's good to have you back. It must have been painful for you, though, Techno answered quietly. Owie, Ghostbur answered, a small whimper escaping her mouth. Techno nodded, walking over to his chest and pulling out a healing potion. Can you take this for me, kiddo? It'll help your owies go away. Ghostbur nodded, taking the potion and drinking it. It left a foul taste in his mouth, but everything in her body stopped hurting. Bubba, tired. It's alright, hon. You can go to sleep. Bubba's got you. Techno quietly reassured the little. Ghostbur nodded, eyes slowly closing as he let herself fall asleep. Techno smiled, climbing the stairs to his bedroom and laying the little down, tucking her in securely before kissing his forehead. Sweet dreams, kiddo. You're not British.
Nice ears.
You're not British.
I'm Millie Bobby Brown.
No, you're not. Chapter 58, CG Dream XD and Little Foolish Gamers. I will admit this is a really recent chapter, so it may not be that well written.
So you know, feed me food.
I'll feed you here in a second. Have patience.
I'll
be using them theirs for Dream XD because he has more of a god complex, or well, rather he is a god. That's what I meant. He's god. He is a god. He doesn't have a god complex. He is a god. So that's why I'm using them theirs. Because I feel like it fits Dream XD more as the character in my mind, and I'm not asking that you change your opinion. This is just my personal opinion. And a personal headcanon. So. Are you finished? Oh my gosh. It wasn't often that his CG was present, but when they were, he was over the moon happy. His CG always made sure he ate and got a nap in. They also made sure that he wasn't doing any work-related stuff while little. Honestly, he just loved being little around his CG. But he was honestly sad that his CG wasn't around as much as he used to be. Dream XD teleported into the desert realm, appearing outside of their little's lands. A smile spread across their face as they noticed the work that had been put into the land since they had last been around. Meanwhile, Foolish had been overworking himself. Things weren't going the way he wanted them to, and his projects weren't just weren't looking the way he wanted them to either. It kind of angered him as he looked back at the blueprints for his new building. Everything was wrong. The base had come out in the wrong shape, and the building was too thick, and he just was so tired. He wanted a break, but his investors were starting to pressure him into deadlines, and they were fast approaching. Foolish felt his heart break as his exhaustion worked through his body in waves, a frown spreading across his features. He hated this. He wished he could just get a break already. He sank to his knees, tears rolling down his cheeks, and his hands wiped uselessly at them. He felt a heavy, warm, familiar hand rest on his shoulder. He turned and looked up, noticing his CG there. Dream XD quickly hoisted the little up into their arms, rubbing his back and whispering sweet nothings into the little's ears. Shh, it's all right, sweet boy, I've got you. No one can hurt you while you're with me, Dream XD reassured the little. Foolish's tears slowed, his cries stippling to small sniffles. He rested his head on his CG's shoulder, thumb tucked into his mouth. XD quickly noticed, gently swatting the boy's thumb away and replacing it with the little's favorite passive. A pale bronze decorated with silver and purple gems and scatter pattern. XD's boy on the handle and gold and white beading. The button on the passive was a totem of undying. Foolish let out a content sigh, face bearing into his CG's neck as his eyes closed. I'm tired, Dada. XD hummed a gentle tune, teleporting them back to their realm in their palace. They had teleported them into Foolish's little room, tucking the younger into bed and making sure he was comfortable. Nightlight switched on, a totem of undying Stuffy tucked securely into his arms. XD turned to leave, a small hand reaching out and grabbing onto her cloak. Stay, peas, Foolish slurred out, voice heavy with sleep. XD smiled and nodded, laying down beside the boy. That's the end of this one. My tiny tots, little ones, big kids, tweens, teens, everyone in between, CGs, flips, and adults. I hope you all enjoyed, and that's the end of Fanfic Fridays Part 2.
Wait, I have a question. Is this the Million Name Anthem? Beautiful names.
I love you all, and I'll talk to you later. Bye!